All right. This is the workout where we just throw the ball up in the air. No, it is not. We are going to do a nice total body fusion workout. A few high impact moves here, but everything can be modified to low impact. I'm Alvi if you've never met me before. We are doing this workout with a exercise ball. You can really do it with anything. You can use a balled up towel as well for pretty much all of these moves. Or you could use a kid's ball, like a bouncy ball from the store as well. So something that resembles this. I'm also going to grab a set of weights. I've got 3-pound weights here in the studio, but you're welcome to use 3s, 2s, 5s, whatever works for you. All right, let's get started. I've got my ball in between my hands. I've got a nice little plie going in my feet. I'm putting a little pressure on my ball, and just right away I'm going to come into a nice knee lift. In my knee lift, I'm pointing through my feet as they're coming off of the ground. And I'm firming up my belly. My chest is nice and lifted, and I'm slowly going to take my ball over the side of my knee. So this little rainbow is starting to grow as we build a little heat in our body, and we start to feel some range of motion. You can start to look from side to side as well. And of course, you're continuing to put pressure on that ball. Trying to keep your body nice and stacked, ribs over hips, nice proud collarbones. Maybe taking that rotation a tiny bit deeper, and as you can see, I'm starting to feel this in my own body, as you can tell from my breath. Let's take 8 more, 7, let's find 4, pulling the ball down, 2, 1, and press back into that ball, coming back to our neutral position. We're pointing out and coming in, point and in. So this is just a nice little lengthening of the leg. We take it out and in, out and in. I add a ball up, and here right away, you can feel some work in that core starting to go. We take 4 more just like this, keeping the shoulders down, trying to not let them creep up to the ears. Let's go tempo. Out, in, staying in a nice plie, staying soft and gentle through those feet. So you can stay here, finding this low impact, or, like I said, we have a few high impact modifications. We've got these press jacks, where you're pressing right into the ball, keeping the rib cage down. Take it 8, 7. You have 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, open up to a wide step position. I'm gonna nestle the ball right into the crook of my hip. I'm gonna goal post one hand, and then I'm gonna just stretch all the way over, and you can see that ball comes to my knee, and then I come back, ball comes back to crook, and my elbow comes into my other crook. So down and in. So we go down for 2, in for 2. Really making sure to tick-tock the body from the ribs. So this shouldn't just be like arms here. It should really be opening up the body from that rib cage. Using the pressure of the ball to drive your stretch. Opening for 2, closing for 2. One more nice and slow. You know what's happening. Let's go faster. Over and stretch. Take it down and up. See if you can keep stabilizing in this low second position by squeezing those glutes. You give me 4 more. Knees stay nice and open, spreading through those inner thighs. Last one here it is. Pulse it out. 8, 7. Reinvestigate the second. For 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Guess what? You're getting a tiny little bit before we come to the second side. And put that ball in the crook. Give that to you so it can be nice and clean. All right, you're going over on that second side, and then you're coming back into that elbow point. So it goes down for 2 and in for 2. Trying to sit as low as you can without disrupting your balance. Taking it over the top and in Your arm stretches right over that ear. Hey, it's time to flow. Take it up and in. Releasing the breath, releasing tension. Over, up, and give me 4 more. You can get 1 inch lower. 3. Last 2. And 1. And come on up. All right, your ball is about to go in between your legs, but first, you're gonna grab your weights. Because if you don't grab your weights first, you'll have your ball in between your legs and one of your weights, and that'll be rough. So, if you haven't noticed yet, the name of today is kind of this like nice neutral hip distance apart position. I'm feeling a grab on my ball so that I have nice engagement in my inner thighs. And then I'm gonna just take my weights out to the side, like so. See if you can sit the pelvis down 1 more inch than you maybe want to, dropping the hips, feeling nice and weighted. And then from here, we're gonna flip up, come to a chest press, open, lower down. Feel that great rotation in the shoulders. So I love these little like press pump moves, right? Where you like lower and lift. And for me, you know, I feel the chest press, but what I really feel is that shoulder rotation. It's this movement that starts to become the difficult one, right? And so if you work through that, seeing if you can sink maybe another inch low. Let's take 2 more just like this. Come up. And last one. Hold it in. Lower this down and just take your hands so they're nice and weighted. I just want you to hold. I'm actually going to take your elbows so that they're in front of your hips. And now I just want you to sit down and scoop your ball. Get those inner thighs. As you're holding, now what we're taking next. Take a little pump of those weights. I've stopped my inner thighs weights. Guess what? This is just your intermission. We're going to do 1 more set of those shoulders. Now pump and squeeze. But I just wanted to give you a little taste of something else in between sets so that your shoulders aren't too fatigued. Take a little bicep. 7, 6. And you go down a little bit more. 4, 3, 2, and stay sitting down. You shouldn't be too tired yet. Bring those arms back. We're going again. Flip it up, squeeze, open and low. Take it. Straighten those legs, sink down, squeeze. I was inspired. So we're gonna sit nice and deep as you flip the shoulders, stand tall. So we're just finding a little bit more motion on our second set of this. And hey, if combining all of this movement feels stressful to you at any point, you can just stay with the arms variation that we're doing. Let's take 4 more. I'm going back to the stretch because it feels nice. And push, it's like you're emerging from the water, from a pool. You can see where I want to be, emerging from the pool. Push it and swing those arms back. I'm gonna waddle a little so you can see me. You don't have to waddle. My weights are up, so palms are up. My ball is still in between my legs. I have a nice flat back. And if you like, and you're looking for a little balance advancement, you can come to your toes here, or you can stay down on your heels. That's totally your choice. We're gonna find some circles. Maybe I want to on my toes just a tiny bit. So I've got these nice circles. I'm trying to keep them nice and high above those hips. Also trying to keep a nice head line in my back so that I feel this work from the crown of the head to the tailbone. Let's do 8, 7, just a few more reps than I can do. 4, for 3, for 2, reverse those circles. You give me 8, 7. So just like me, if at any point you need to put those heels down to preserve the circles, you do it. Hold, like those arms a little bit higher, sink down a little bit lower, squeeze into your ball. 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Come on up. All right, we're gonna get down in 1 second, but I just wanna give us a moment to stretch our triceps. So let's just take our ball behind us And find a little tricep stretch after doing all of those circles. You can use the head to accentuate that stretch, but do try to keep the chest nice and closed here. And let's take the ball into the other hand, drop the ball behind you. And again, using the head to drive the stretch, but then trying to keep those ribs nice and closed. All right, let's get down to the ground. Woo! We're gonna take our ball under our hand to do a little bit of destabilizing work. And again, if it's a towel, just ball up that towel and use it like so. Do keep a soft bend in the elbow that is on the ground so that both have a nice bend to them, right? Don't walk out in that one hand. All right, announcement time is over. Let's take our right leg behind us. So the leg that is working is the leg on the side of the destabilized ball. I'm gonna take a flex behind and then a point out to the side. So flex behind, point to the side. Flex and point. So what we're trying to do here, which I'm maybe not best at, is to not move that hip, but to keep everything really lovely and stable. And to also explore a lot of range of motion, right? So I'm not just like tapping down over to the side here, but I'm really trying to lift and tap to like almost a full 90 degrees. And tap. Let's take two more. And tap. And on our last one, I'm gonna leave those toes out to the side. Maybe open up your ball hand again, reset everything, point through that toe, we lift and lower. Three more. 4, 2, and 1. Bend that knee and open and close. I think these little doggy fire hydrants are much easier than that full leg out. So for me, 8 of those full legs are pretty exhausting. But then we can kind of regroup and find these as well. Let's take 4 more for 3. Last 2 and 1. Hold it up and take that knee forward, and let's just give ourselves a moment of pigeon stretch, using that ball to just melt. All right, second side, it's time. I think I'll come around for y'all so that you don't have to look at the back of me for the whole second side. I think it's better that way. Let's take now your opposite side. So now for me, it's the left, but whatever side you're doing is the side you're doing. I kick it back for 2 with that flex foot, point for 2. So back and point. I do work pretty hard in this position, my fellow fitness fiends, to engage my core so that it's not dumping to the ground, right? Because if you aren't pulling into your belly button quite a lot here, you're gonna feel some stress or some strain in your lower back. So I work to keep my belly button really lifted and firmed, almost as though there's like a little magnet pulling my belly button in and up towards the spine, particularly as I'm like lifting and pointing. Let's take 1 more full set here and take it out. Soften again through those knees and find your side. Stabilize the hand on the ball, and we're gonna go for those lifts. We've just got 8 and 7. When I rehearsed these in my head, they just weren't quite as difficult. Yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. We do the things in our head, they seem easy, but we do them with our bodies and they're a little challenging. Last one, and we pull our knee in. Let's finish this sequence out with those hydrants, opening and closing. 4, 4, 3, 4, 2, and 1. Let that knee come forward. Stretch the other leg back. Take the ball out in front of you and recline in your kitchen. All right, before we turn over and work our core, we're going to find a quick little plank. I'm going to take my plank on my fingers on a high plank, but if you need to come to an elbow, that's obviously available to you. So, pressing up into your plank, I'm tipping down through my pelvis, just finding a nice stable position, and then just tipping those knees and lengthening. So I'm really using that ball to find a lot of length, and then bending and lengthening through those knees to activate and investigate some deepening in the core. Just 4 more. Slow, deep contractions will give us wonderful feeling abs. Let's do 2 more here. I think 2 more is where we are. Last one. Maybe look at me as you're stuck holding here. You can curse me here. You're like, why? For 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Tap those knees down. Take the ball out, and I will give you a nice child's pose here. You can stretch just in the center of your stretch, or if you want to take your ball from either side, that's excellent as well. Okay. We have 2 of my favorite ab ball exercises. If you've taken my class a bunch, you've probably seen this one before because it's one of my favorites. I take a ball and I put it on my ankle, and then I take and I put my other ankle on top. And I come onto my elbow points. I lift the whole situation. My feet are nice and flat. My chest is lifted, but my pelvis is tucked. And I lift and lower. So it's not a very big range of motion, but by feeling that lifted chest and that tipped pelvis, I get a lot of work right away in those transverse abs. Woo! Let's just take 2 more here. And 1, lower it down a bit, just push it out. 4, and bend. 3, and bend. If you're new to this, you might lose your ball. And if that's the case, you'll practice until you don't. Last 1, and then you do need to take your ball away or you really will lose it there. Okay, we've got a second side. So now I'm making, I like to call this my sandwich, my ab ball sandwich. So you're making your sandwich on your second side. Flex out your feet strong so that you have your ball. Puff up your chest and get yourself into your position where you lift and lower. So there's like a little rock and roll feeling that I feel here, right? Where I feel the contraction. I feel the squeeze in those low abdominals. And you broaden the chest a bit more. Give me 4 more. For 3, 4, 2, and last one. Just take it out, send it out. 4, and in. 3, and in. This one sort of makes me feel like I'm in the circus too. And 1, and take it all down. Okay, our grand finale is another move that requires a little bit of coordination. It is a ball pass teaser. I'm gonna do it with mostly straight legs. You can do it with bent legs. We're gonna essentially pass the ball from our hands to our feet. Let's take a look. So, I come down, my ball is in my hands. I'm coming up to a teaser, and you can take a boat or a bent leg teaser and take it out. Or you can teaser all the way up with straight legs and come down. So the boat version is a little easier. The straight leg version is maybe your challenge that you're working up to. So it comes in and goes goes to the feet, and it comes in, and it goes to the hands. A few of them, and you might say, wow, I do 2 or 3, and it's time to come to the boat. So pulling it in, getting that ball, feeling what the sort of extra coordination does to your obliques, to your transverse abdominals. It's a lot. Let's get that ball back into our hands, and let's hold it. Let's lower it down, and let's all hold in a nice banana boat for 4, for 3, for 2, and squat. Your ball can go away, but mine might come back because it might have hit a wall. Oh well. And just take your head from side to side. Let's just give ourselves a big morning stretch. That was a lot of work for 20 minutes, 25 minutes. So just really stretching through each side of the body. And let's just hug our knees into our chest. And let's just give ourselves some nice, easy spinal twists to end. So I'm just gonna take my hands out wide, nice 90 degrees. I'm gonna just drop both knees over to one side and take my head the other way. You can use your hand for an assist if you like. And come back. Knees drop to the other side. And breathe. And let's just rock and roll, maybe 3 or 4 times, massaging the spine. On your 4th one, we're gonna just crisscross up and over, walking back. And I'm gonna just give us a nice articulated circle to finish. So I'm gonna just circle to the left, come up through a cow shape, circle to the right, and come down through a cat. This is something I really like to finish out a lot of my classes. It's a little bit more dynamic than a regular cat-cow. Let's go one more time. 3 is a charm to one direction. And then we'll take 3 to end. See if you can take your head with you. I'm talking to you, so I sometimes don't get my neck as much as I could. Last one, rocking and rolling. And when you're ready, just sit yourself back into a child's pose because you are all done. All right, thank you so much for working out with me today, and I will see you soon. Bye.